From the News Channel 5 network and Out and About Nashville, this is Out and About Today. Sponsored by the Tennessee Performing Arts Center.
Hello, I'm Chuck Long, and welcome to a special edition of Out and About Today. Tonight, we're one-on-one with the multi-talented Del Shores. He's one of the most prolific voices in the LGBTQ community as a writer, director, actor, and activist. He's brought us multi-award-winning plays that have become audience-favorite films like Southern Baptist Sissies and Daddy's Dying, Who's Got the Will, and written for such television shows as Queer as Folk and Dharma and Greg. But right now, let's take a look at the one that brought icon status to Del Shores, Sordid Lives.
Oh, you're drunk.
So this is Wardell.
Shoot her, Wardell. Shoot her in the head.
Brother boy, I'm taking you home now.
Between our thoughts.
I'm in hell.
I have had a horrible, horrible day. But you're here now and things are looking up.
Mama, I'm gay.
And now we welcome my friend and one of the most talented people that I've ever known. So, Del Shores, we are so glad you're with us here on Out and About Today. How are you?
I am so well, and I'm happy to be here with you, Chuck. It's fun to always be in your presence, and God, just seeing that, it still makes me laugh, you know?
It does me too. I say it never gets old. I've seen that, probably 50 times, and it never gets old. So, Del, there's so much we want to talk about. You've done so much, from writing to acting to directing to your activism. So many things to talk about. But as I was getting ready for this show, one of the things, a lot of clips that I was able to go through, but one of the things that you've done over the last few years is your one-man show, the 6 characters in search, it's 6 characters in search of a play. And
that's right.
I saw a clip that we're going to show right now, and then I'm going to talk to you on the backside, but to me it kind of informed a little bit of your life. So take a look and then we'll talk about it.
And
All
my
right.
poor old daddy. Son, please don't tell stories. But my mama and my Aunt Sissy and my Uncle Abbo and my Uncle Humpty and my Nana and my Papa and my Mama Merk and my Buster Daddy and my Uncle Rat, all the heathens on my mama's side of the family, they would ask, what else happened, Delford? And I think that's why I became a writer. Because as a child, I was encouraged to lie.
Okay, so that's pretty profound. Encouraged to lie, and all of your stories have come, so many, from the South, from your upbringing. So tell me how that informed your life.
Well, it's just like I said in that play. I had this amazing family, and my dad was very strict. He was a Southern Baptist preacher, but my mother's side of the family they were just crazy storytellers, and they were crazy. I always say they were good crazy, and they would always encourage me. And when I was a kid, I had such a vivid imagination, and as I said, my dad would say, don't tell stories, but my mother and they would want to know what else happened, and I would add to the stories. I mean, there was at one point in my life, I remember as a kid, and it felt so real to me. I had a pet turkey that flew over mountains with me and my Nana and my Aunt Sissy, and we would have tea parties, and it was just it was a great childhood of encouragement.
And, I know a lot of times, writers, you're writing what you know, you're writing about the people that you know. Did it ever get to a point where you wrote about one of your relatives or someone that you knew from your past where it was like, uh-oh, I've crossed the line and now they're really upset with me?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. When I wrote Daddy's Dying, Who's Got the Will, I was just, an actor, wrote a play in a little tiny house very close to where I live now in Hollywood, at 64 seats. And I never thought that any of my family, they don't go to theater, except my mother did. But then it became a movie, and I'd just stolen their lives, and I didn't know what to say. So I said nothing. And they're all excited. They're proud that, oh, Dilford's got a movie coming out. And they all drove to Abilene, and my Aunt Rita didn't speak to me for 7 years. She was very, very upset at her portrayal by Beverly D'Angelo.
But a good actress to play her. So also, now, of course, Sordid Lives, you know, again, that's what I said, you know, in the open, that took you to the icon status. And you've been able to, you know, do another sequel to A Very Sordid Wedding. You did Sordid Lives, the series. I want to know something. Sordid Lives, the series, to me, allowed you to do something, you know, to take it to that next step. So let's take a look from a clip of Sordid Lives, the series, and then we'll talk about it on the backside.
Oh, sure.
It just seemed the Christian thing to do, Latrell. She's not a bad person if you get to know her.
No, thank you. And don't expect me to come visit you while she's living there.
Oh, I won't.
Well, if we had gone to visit Brother Boy yesterday as planned, he probably wouldn't be in a coma right now.
Please do not make me feel more guilty than I already feel.
You know, Mama, I've never told you this, but sometimes I don't know how you sleep at night after what you've done to Brother Boy.
Well, sometimes I don't.
The amazing Rue McClanahan, of course, Bonnie Bedelia. Did that allow you, though, to really tell the story that you had wanted to when you first started Sordid Lives, when you had done the play?
You know, I never thought about it in those terms. It's interesting because I told the story that became the movie, and then during a time of unemployment, right after I was on Queer as Folk, I was married to Jason Dotley at the time, and he's the one who said, you know, you've got a really big franchise here. You should expand on it. So I started writing these short stories, and and I chose to do a prequel, and those short stories became the germ, if you will, for the series. And ironically, another downtime during this pandemic, I started reading those stories on Facebook Live, and everybody responded to them. And so I am moments away from finishing an entire novel of the prequel that it basically inspired the series.
Oh, well, that's exciting. Exciting to hear. When can we expect maybe to see that?
I would say in the next few months. It's you know, I'm probably going to self-publish it and do what we do, you know, generate the interest through online presence and social media. But it's been fun. It's always fun to return to those characters. I always think I'll get tired of them, but there's always a little bit. I always say dig deeper, scratch deeper, and the novel is a little more dramatic. And I got to see that side of them.
Oh, I hope you never get tired of them, because I promise you we will not. So we'll look forward to that. So, Del, we have to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at some of Del's most powerful, thought-provoking, conversation-starting works. You're watching Out and About Today.